hoping. Got that Coney Island diet, Euro large fry with a Coke. And like Makai Lewis, the highest seed is gonna need to go. Whoa, I'm making more contact than Ichiro. My smoke meter's getting pretty full, and goddamn I forgot how the edibles always have to find ya. Higher than a giraffe's vagina. Catch me acting a fool, it's cool, I don't mind ya. Cause reggae is all I need. Give me my guitar, my band, and a big bag of weed. No, cause reggae is all I need. No, cause reggae is all I need. Give me my guitar, my band, and a big bag of weed. No, cause reggae is all I need.
Make sure everything is working all right. Check, check. We are good to go.
Check, check.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Welcome back to another installment of That Came From the Underground. First episode back in studio since COVID started. We have been doing a bunch of Zoom shows, and obviously sound quality has not been great on those, as I have mentioned in prior episodes. But luckily we got Mr. Geoffrey Jr. sitting in with us today from Some Friends, the band, or Some Friends. I guess that's something I noticed when I started saying it out loud. I was like, I wonder what the inflection is on it. There's Some Friends.
It's just whatever you would really want it to be.
Whatever as long as you get the words right.
I brought this too. This is so you can like go to our website and you can download the actual music.
Oh fuck yeah, that's awesome.
So that
That works.
Pull the files that you want to, and then you have that for yourself to listen to as well.
Hell yeah, dude, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here, man.
Yeah,
This like I said, this is the first one back in studio.
Yeah.
Since this whole COVID thing started off. So
Feels good to be doing stuff again.
hell yeah, dude. Yeah, go ahead and bring that mic a little close to you. There you go. Perfect.
No worries.
Just watching the waves here, making sure we're good. Awesome. But hey, I kind of wrote out some talking points here for us to kind of go over,
Perfect.
and then hell yeah, man. So we'll start talking about the band. What kind of what do you define the genre of your band as?
It's very much kind of West Coast reggae, but it's got kind of vibes of some of the stuff that's going on the East Coast right now, which is kind of why we decided to go with No Coast
Yeah, there you go.
reggae for us.
Very nice.
There's not a lot of competition for reggae music in the Midwest area right now, and we're just doing our damnedest to bring awareness to that scene and
man.
Bring something that people can enjoy to the Midwest and give something to be proud of for
Fuck yeah.
the city of Des Moines.
Definitely, dude. Yeah, hell yeah. Because I've noticed one thing for sure is that people, as far as music goes, love the band aspect of music in Iowa. That's because Ames in particular is full of a lot of solo musicians who are like all front. They're all trying to be the front man.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like so everyone just ends up jamming together on the same instrument.
Yeah.
It's the kind of area where if you can play anything else, you are going to be in a band.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, how long you been doing music now?
Oh, I started playing guitar when I was about 9 years old, and I'm 32 now. So.
Oh hell yeah!
That's
You've been doing a long time.
23 years.
Fuck yeah! When did the band start?
22, 23 years. This band, Some Friends, I think this is our 5th year.
Fuck yeah!
I want to say it was 2015 that we kind of got the idea together and started writing and started doing stuff. I think we played our first show, I want to say it was in like September or October maybe of 2015.
Yeah, right on.
So, yeah, we've been through some members. We've had some people come and some people go, but me and the drummer Evan Coakley have been pretty much the steadfast members, and then our saxophone player Kyle Gowan.
Nice.
He's been around since the start, but
we've
I think we've finally got to the point where we have our crew, and hopefully everybody continues to put forth the mutual effort that it takes to get places that we need to get. So.
Yeah, no, that's always the biggest fucking problem in a lot of in the band aspect. Because I mean, back when like Motley Crue started, they could put out an ad that was like, but I think literally they put out I think I'd heard it was like Motley Crue or something. They literally put out an ad that was like, maybe it was Kiss. It was some old band from like the 80s that was like, they put out an ad that was like, looking for people who do anything to get on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine. So it was like you had to be crazy, like you had to be doing like willing to do crazy shit.
Right.
But that's it. But those people were also like pretty pretty open to the drug era, so they had a lot of shit keeping them in the moment.
Looser at that point in life.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, it was like because a fun story I'd heard. This is totally off topic, but this is just a funny story I'd heard Tommy Lee. I was like, how the fuck did I forget his name? I heard Tommy Lee tell of just a performance where they're just like chugging a whole bottle of Jack on stage, and he had chugged like half a bottle, and then just had a dude like handed him bottle caps full of cocaine like that he could like keep playing and lean over and snort it real quick so he could like keep going. And it's like fucking the kind of shit that those guys come from is insane.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, dude.
They definitely went through some hairy stuff. That's for sure.
Yeah, man. You guys, have you guys had any like crazy band stories like that? You trash a hotel room, or you?
We haven't like really toured or
run
anything
naked through the halls.
So, but we've played some places that there's some good stories from back in the day. We used to play in a group. Me and Evan, the drummer, we used to play in a group called the Chronicles with another cat named Steve Pello. That was about 9 years ago, something like that, 8 years ago. And we played a gig where we got a hotel room, and I don't remember it, but I was walking around with a big like a power strip, like a industrial, like big old brick power strip. And I was just walking back and forth down the hotel room, just whacking on the doors. Like, you guys stop doing that. I don't care.
I don't give a fuck, man.
But most of us are over the age of 30. I think actually everyone in the band is over the age of 30 now. Everybody's kind of chilled out a little bit.
Right,
you know?
kind of moving past all the craziness.
Like our ganja, and we'll have a couple Budweisers here and there. And
hell yeah.
Maybe drink some whiskey, but
when
it comes down to it, we all like getting into bed at a decent hour, or most of us do at least.
Yeah.
We have our nights, but But I think for the most part we've chilled out. It's more about the music than it's about the partying at this point.
That's ideal too. Plus that's a big shift in where entertainment is gone, but as opposed to like the band being like, yeah, we're gonna chug straight out of the bottle, like a whole handle, and like do half of it, and then like snort coke while we're on stage to try to keep the moment. We've gone from like shit like that, and like, well, because it's the same thing in comedy too. It's like Sam Kinison was insane on drugs, and like Richard Pryor was known for being insane, like doing a ton of drugs. Mitch Hedberg is heavily known for drugs, and so it's just like you get all, and so you get, it's like this giant party lifestyle. But a lot of people have, but the air has really shifted over to the craft. Just on its own, it's like you don't have to. You don't particularly have to.
I think that's the only way that you have any longevity with it. Otherwise, you're just setting yourself up for a crash and burn.
Right? You know? Yeah. You can't maintain that lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. No. There's reasons that Pryor and Kinison ended up like either in wheelchairs or demented.
Right.
Not quite as late as they maybe would have.
Chris Farley is another one that comes to mind.
Oh yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, just a dude who was like living everything to the max. And now and then everyone that like watched them, everyone who kind of just would know about them but not really know anything about them is now in an era where they're like, yeah, that's all stupid. Why would you do that?
Right.
And now they're all like, and now like straight edge has become like a thing, and like people just being like, no, just like cigarettes, weed, and beer, and like I'm good.
Right.
Like, they're just like, that's all I need. And it's like, yeah, honestly, you can get to a great place with just those.
Yeah.
You don't need all the crazy shit. You know.
It's got to be able to control your vices. Don't let your vices control you. I think it's a pretty good mentality to keep.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's it's definitely a big shift in just where we're at with everything. Is that everyone's moving into more of the just focusing on the music and the jokes, but at the same time, that's also I kind of look at because people give me shit plenty for doing the podcast and everything. They're like, yeah, everyone's got a fucking podcast now. It's like, yeah, but that's because it's kind of easy to do, but at the same time, you still have to have the motivation to do it.
Yeah.
So it's like if I just keep doing it, eventually everyone else who like made it like so cliche for me to do it will probably just fall off.
Right.
And then I'm left, and then it's like, oh, okay, he was serious.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, I just gotta hang in there.
Exactly.
Past that little gap, It's the same thing with doing stand up too. So
yeah, and getting into the paid industry is, I mean, it's kind of the same way. It started off for me as just going to a shit ton of open mics, and there's no pay in any of the stuff I started off doing. But if you do it enough and catch the right ears, and as you're doing it enough, you kind of start to hone in on your craft and what you're good at, and the songs that people respond to, and the songs maybe people don't respond as much to. And before you know it, somebody's like, "Hey, come play my club. I'll cook you dinner and give you beer," and it starts from there, and then maybe you get $50, $100, and then it's one of those things where if you're just consistent with it and keep at it.
Yeah, exactly. They know they can
other
rely
people,
on you.
And I can't even name how many people I have watched, start the process of going into trying to be a paid musician, and they don't stick it out long enough, and they end up deciding to go another route.
Yeah.
And it really is just, you just gotta hone your craft and stick it out. You just can't give it up.
100%. Yeah. There was that's exactly the mentality to have, because there was a band that I had just heard of, I think just a few months ago, and I've been meaning to like look them up again because they were like guests on a podcast that I just frequently listen to, and the point that they made on it was like, this is like their 4th album, and they're just now like picking up heat, and so it's like, sometimes that is the case. It's like if you can just like. If you have it out there, eventually it will be found, and plus it can sometimes that has to do with marketing or whatever. There's like little things that can help, but it's sticking it out.
Yep.
It's like that's such a huge,
and just investing every way you can. That's a lot of people. It's hard to be taken seriously as a musician or a group, a band, if you don't have some sort of proof that you're taking yourself seriously. If you don't have an album, you don't have anything. You don't have a YouTube channel, you don't have anything on Spotify, but you don't want to sit there and explain to somebody that you are serious about what you do, and like, well, if you're serious about what you do, why haven't you made the investment into this kind of stuff? Then, So to be able to say, I think we spent about close to $15,000 on our last album, and we just recorded 2 more songs that were about $3,500 in on 2 songs there, and
holy shit,
it's just you just got to do what you got to do in order to present yourself in the way that you want to be presented,
100%,
and be taken seriously. And it's time. It's a time investment. It's a passion investment, and when you can, it's a financial investment as well.
Yeah, that's a big factor. That's why, because I started trying to, the whole like I what led up to this was me like promoting bands and artists. I was like, well, I guess like if I'm not gonna do it, I can just try to get the name out there for some people.
Right.
And I was like, if I just start putting money into like shows and all that, and like putting shit on and like locally, then that'll show that I'm like serious about it, and then it'll go, and then it just never quite built that way, because I was working with a lot of rappers, and Ames isn't exactly a great rap scene.
Sure.
It's very much like indie, and that sort of thing, and reggae, and like indie reggae, and then like some rock, and then like for a little while we had like a huge metal thing, and it just kind of faded into chill shit, and so now it's like a lot of hippies playing acoustics and.
Well, and with everything going on right now, there's not really a venue for anybody to really be doing too much of anything right now.
Exactly.
Which is, frustrating for a lot of artists. For me, it's, you can do the live streams and you can do stuff like that, but the energy that you feed off of when you're in a room full of people that are there to listen to what you've created, there's just a different, there's a different energy in the room that I feel, that I'm sure other musicians feel, and to have that absence and just be hoping that there's people on the other side of their computer screens or phone screens that are paying attention, and the eerie silence when you finish a song that you don't have, any claps, or even after a while you even miss like a boo or two,
Right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Like just, inspiring some sort of emotion in somebody and being able to physically and audibly see and hear that is, something that.
And when you can feel it, then you can kind of vibe off of it with what you do, with what you're doing, which is exactly the problem with, like Zoom comedy and stuff. Is like a ton of comics are going, you know what? It's been so fucking long. I'm just gonna do it. Like there's a lot of.
That's gotta be so hard, to go to. You can kind of tell if a joke, and I know there's some jokes that have like. It's like a train, or you can jump off maybe at this point if it's not going so well. But if it is going well, it's got part B, C, and D.
Yeah,
to that
exactly.
Joke,
Very much so.
And to be able to try to gauge that with no laughs has got to be.
It's fucking impossible.
Super difficult.
Yeah, it's very difficult, especially because when you're when you're in like a room where it's like all comics, they can kind of get a mentality going, but like over the screen where it's all comics, then it's like it's very much like just whoever's in the screen. Because what we've done, I did one where it was just like over like Facebook, it was like over Google Hangouts, and then one of the guys was like broadcasting it on Facebook Live, and so we had like 20 people watching, but it was like 20 people you couldn't see.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's just you and like 5 other comics in this little group chat, just like you may as well just be having a conversation. Right. It was like taking turns having a conversation.
Yeah.
And like just saying shit, and then it got down to me, and I was the last one, and then the live feed cut out. And I was like, I think that's my sign. I'm not gonna do this. So it's just like I'm out. Like it was exactly the same whether or not it hadn't cut out. Like either way, I can't see the fucking audience. But it's but the energy is literally all what it all comes down to. Is you can't tough. Yeah, you can't connect, and you can't like shift the energy. You can't feel where they're going and like go based on that. Exactly. Yeah. So it's just like it all has to be face value, and then even then, really get the reaction. You just gotta really
commit to it and know that your shit's funny.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. So like when you're playing, so I imagine when you're playing on stage, it like really gives you a sign if people are like watching, if they're locked in, if they're, like people like moving around, if people are like, I don't know, if like singing along, whatever. There's it's like the same thing. You get this energy and this like.
It's kind of how I can gauge like whether a song I feel like is gonna do well or not too. It's we might play 1 or 2 songs and people are kind of milling around and chatting, and then we'll play a new song and like whether or not people kind of stop and check it out.
Yeah.
And look, and you're like, okay, look, I got like 35 people to shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
and pay attention. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I think we're onto something with this one, guys. Let's go ahead and hone in on that.
Yeah, exactly. That's very true.
Yeah,
that's
man.
very true. That's definitely a predicament we're all kind of dealing with right now, especially since fucking all the bars in 6 counties got shut down again, and there's only and plus and that's the thing too, is like I'm still I'm an open micer, like whatever, I'm working on it. I did my first showcase. I would have been on like 2 paid, at least 1 paid show, and then 1 at the Funny Bone, which is like hard to especially at my level to get in on.
I was a food runner at the Funny Bone.
Yeah,
like 10 years ago.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, that's what's up, dude. Hell yeah. So you've like see it. So you've definitely got some experience in like seeing like pros come through there, and like
I remember I saw
kind of see some cool stuff.
Ralphie May
I'm jealous of that. I never got to see him.
Shore came through when I was there.
Fuck yeah.
He was kind of a douchebag.
Oh really?
I can only imagine that. I mean, it's fucking Pauly Shore.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Even he knows he's fucking Pauly Shore.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he fucking he's another story. His mom opened the fucking world famous Comedy Store in Los Angeles, so he's been around his entire life. He's fucking so he's kind of a special case where it's like you wish he wasn't an asshole, but you're like he's not surprised.
He's doing the cameo thing.
Oh, is he really?
And I saw some pretty good ones of him.
Oh, sick.
There's some pretty funny ones.
Do you know what it cost for him to do a cameo?
I did not look at what he did.
No.
How much he costs. Some friends actually I don't know that we've heard back on it yet, but we're trying to we sent out a request for Tommy Chong to do one for us.
Nice.
I think it was like $150 or something.
Fuck yeah.
But we're in the process right now of recording a music video with one of the new songs that we just recorded, and the song is called The Bird, and the chorus of the song is all you haters, see you later, that's the word, all you haters, see you later, here's the bird.
Yeah.
And the whole song is just pretty much about do you whatever you want to do, and whatever you want to be is good enough. And fuck everybody that thinks otherwise.
Tommy Chong's a good fit for that kind of.
We got a bunch. We've gone around. I think we probably got 60, maybe 80, something like that. Different people.
Yeah.
All in the Des Moines area, and it's just their faces and them flicking the camera off.
Fuck yeah, dude.
So music video will kind of be a bunch of different people, and
that's awesome.
We're hoping at the end that we can get Tommy Chong to say it and flick the camera off.
That'd be amazing.
So fingers crossed that comes through. We were talking about trying to get Snoop Dogg. The Snoop Dogg was like $750.
Goddamn, really? Holy shit, dude!
I would imagine Pauly's probably between $150 and $300 or something like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, man. I fucking I've been surprised at some of the prices that come out on that people charge, because the most surprising one to me so far, because Chris D'Elia made a joke where it made it into a bit where he charged like $10,000. And then, but then he's like, I'm gonna be the most expensive one. But then, he didn't it wasn't like serious. But then, the most expensive one I've seen is Caitlyn Jenner at like $2,500, which is insane. And so it's people really have their preferences, and that's like a real lane of people. If you charge that much, like you're only getting cameos of certain people. Yeah, and so it's $150 to like have Tommy Chong like do a cameo and then appear at the end of the fucking music video. I'm like, that's totally worth it. Oh yeah, that's 100% worth it. That's sure. right in your lane.
And it's Tommy fucking Chong.
It's Tommy fucking Chong. Exactly, dude. That's amazing. And I fucking actually before I forget, where does the name Some Friends have much of an origin story, or is it kind of something you can't?
Well, it's actually we kind of had more of the idea of like it's kind of like a sarcastic, kind of has like a sarcastic tone to it. Like when we
bring the mic a little closer to you.
When we originally kind of started,
don't be afraid to like pull it towards you. It's got good range to it.
Oh yeah. When we originally started talking about it, it was meant to be very like sarcastic, like you're at a bar and you didn't drive and your friends like left you, and you're like, some friends,
there you go. Like, yeah, okay, I like that.
So that's kind of the original meaning or original like connotation behind it, but it's can be whatever, I mean, usually we all get along on stage. Sometimes we have our days,
right?
But we are at the end, we're all a bunch of friends, or just some friends, and there's also kind of a fun play on it when like we open for people. It's like Modest Yahoo with some friends,
right?
And, There's kind of a fun play on words there.
Yeah, because there's a lot of shows that will do that. They'll be like so and so and friends, and some friends. It's like that's great.
Yeah,
I like that. I love little like names that can be kind of played on like that. So that's really cool.
I play at another group in Des Moines called The Sheet, and it's me and a drummer, and we originally wanted to call ourselves The Shit.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, we're probably not going to get too many like family-friendly gigs, and people aren't going to want to put our name on posters, and
Yeah, exactly.
So they're like, well, let's just go with The Sheet. The people get it when they figure out that this band is The Sheet.
Hell yeah, there you go. Yeah, it'll all come together. Right? Yeah, people tend to be able to grasp those kind of things. That's always something I've noticed too. Is like if it's like really good, sometimes if it's like real clever, sometimes it takes people a while, but. Like The Sheet, people are already gonna hear and be like, it's
sometimes it does take people a while though. Like they think the sheep, like a sheet, like a bed sheet,
right?
Like no, like we're the sheet, like
you gotta say it. You're right. Yeah, once they hear you say it, then they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah, because I guess I could see them hearing The Sheet and then thinking it has something to do with like, I bet there's like some story with like a bed sheet,
right? Or sheet music, or we get all sorts of sheet metal. Or,
true. Yeah, like, if you were a metal band, right? Called The Sheet. The sheet metal band. That's dope. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah,
that's
dude.
What's up. Yeah. Let's see here. So then getting into doing music, everyone kind of has like sort of their reason for pursuing their entertainment goals, whatnot, whether it be no matter what kind of lane it tends to go down. Like I found to do comedy just because I was like, originally I wanted to do music, and like I took up drums, guitar, all that shit.
Yeah, I see your drums under the sheets over here.
Yeah, speaking of sheets,
right?
But I gotta throw it over there so that way, because when I have people over to do this and we get talking, if we get too loud, I can hear it reverberate,
snare or whatever.
Yeah, so then I'm just like, I'll throw a blanket over to block the sound from hitting it.
For sure.
Yeah, but that's is what it is. But like I found when I found doing comedy, it's like I would watch comedy forever, but I didn't really think I was that funny. Like everything was always very serious in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I like lean towards music. But then it was kind of a matter of like learning that I could like kind of realizing that I like to make fun of everything.
Sure.
Yeah, which you hear a lot of people say. It's kind of cliche, but it's like one of the early signs of like if you like giving your friends shit and you find it hard to not be mean sometimes,
mm-hmm.
just because you're like trying to get you're trying to fuck with your friend.
Right.
Then it's like then a lot of these things kind of build up, and then you see, and then you start like see it, and then I saw a dude named Big J Okerson do it, and he's got like a nose ring and like earrings, and he dresses, and he's like a hefty dude.
Sure.
But he looks rock and roll. Like he opened for Korn, even like on tour, like as a comedian.
Right on.
And like he has like a real like rock style to him, and so I was like, oh fuck, like this is like one of the most he's like one of those clever fucking dudes. Like his back and forth is like incredible, and his crowd work is he's one of the best crowd work comedians that there is.
Hell yeah.
And so it's like you hear him in this point, and he was one of the ones who kind of convinced me to get into comedy.
Sure.
I was like, I can do all that shit if I tried real hard.
Sure.
And then you can kind of create enough of an ego off making your friends laugh, even though you realize for sure later it's not the same thing.
Right.
But at the same time, it helps kind of give you that confidence to get up there once. And then I just hit a point where I was like, I want to be in entertainment, and then I would start watching. I started watching like Dave Chappelle, and there's this podcast Kill Tony, and it's like you see all these people just bomb and fuck it, they like the worst jokes, and they just get their asses reamed, and it's like I realized like I just got to get through that, like take in all the lessons, and like so I'm starting to finally kind of get into like a groove of things. Yep. After now that I'm like a year in, I'm like, because like I went in understanding it. And then when you go in understanding comedy, like you start analyzing, like I just analyze fucking everything.
Right.
And so then a lot of people you realize are kind of like a lot of it is them almost trying to do impressions of their favorite comics.
Sure.
And so then it's like, and then they're like real awkward, they're kind of clunky, and like then they say it in their head, they're thinking that someone else will find it funny. It's not particularly that they find it funny.
Right.
So that sounds weird, and so it's like you just start noticing all these things, and then so in my head it just became the thing like I think I can do it, and now that I am doing it, like I'm like, okay, I can. But it was it. But then I found like this community of like people always coming up with ideas and like talking shit out, and so I just like I've always loved getting into shit and like talking about things, and yeah. But but then when in music, obviously very poetic. Yeah. And then you can obviously it's got more you're in an element with the band, and so what was it like? What kind of things is it that leads you into doing music? That you were like, this is something I want to focus on and like really go into.
Playing guitar was always something that I just really wanted to do. I don't remember ever not wanting to play guitar. And my dad's a Southern Baptist pastor. He's jumped around some different denominations, but Southern Baptist probably being the most consistent. So I played in church. That's kind of where I got my roots of, playing in front of people and with other people was in the church scene. Nice. Which I wouldn't give up for anything in the world to be playing in front of people at such a young age. I feel like I kind of cheated in the fact that I didn't really have to learn how to get over like playing in front of people, because I just was doing it at such a young age that by the time that you're self-conscious about doing that kind of stuff, like I've kind of didn't have it figured out, but I was comfortable enough with it that I wasn't scared to do it anymore. So for me, like, I think at that point, seeing other people really want it, but like not have it, and like they get up on stage and they just freeze, and like it's like I have something special here, and I really, really enjoy doing it. So I just need to put my head down and figure this out as best as I can and push forward and see how good we can make this shit. Hell
yeah, you've been doing it your whole life, so you've been performing your whole life then.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
I've taken some breaks here and there, but for the most part, it's been pretty much my whole life. I've been playing music and some sort of music in front of people. So at this point, I'm 32. I don't know that there's much else that I could learn to do that I would really enjoy. Right. And it's a weird thing that, when you get to an age that you realize that your brain doesn't soak up information like it used to. You know, like I used to be able to sit down into the song and within 30, 45 seconds I have the song all down. Nice. Lyrics kind of take a second, but
Right,
Usually after a while, I got it.
Yeah.
And as the older I get, lyrics are the hardest ones for me. It's learning cover songs and like,
okay.
I'll just blank. Like I'll
Right.
written them out. I'll have them memorized. I'll perform it a couple times without messing it up. And then all of a sudden it's like, bloop.
Yeah.
Verse 2 is just gone.
Goes right out of your head.
Like,
yeah,
I
exactly.
cannot remember how it starts. I can't remember the lyrics. I can't.
Ugh.
I feel like I mean, maybe part of it's the fact that my brain's just so full of lyrics and different cover songs and my own songs and
right.
that,
Yeah.
like it's like a computer, you know. It's just
you gotta
it's
like
full.
your brain
I
either has to let something
yeah,
go,
yeah.
or you just gotta, like,
I learn a
cram it
new
in.
one and I lose an old one or
Yeah.
whatever it is, you know.
I only had enough RAM in my brain for like 3/4 of the song.
Yeah.
I missed the whole middle verse.
I'm gonna have to dump some like middle school memories or something.
I had to forget every play I was in
Yeah,
elementary school in order to learn this cover song.
Yep.
That's fun. That's fun.
Yeah.
That's a funny thing to think of, is like your brain has to make room as you take in so much. Because that was always a funny thing. It's like, but I remember it was always a thing where people would be like, "How do our brains remember these like every lyric to these songs?"
It's
but, like,
crazy.
You can't remember what we had for breakfast.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's because you care about that song far more than you care about
When
that bowl
you
of
put
cereal.
a tune to something, it's just proven that, you know, it is retained better. You know, like there's a reason we learn the ABCs in a song. Like,
Exactly,
and everybody knows that song. It's because those hooks, once they're there, they never leave. You know?
Exactly.
When I was in high school and doing a little bit of college, if I had like a list of something that I needed to remember or a group of numbers or whatever, I would always just put like a little ditty to it.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
as soon as that came up, I'd be like, oh yeah, I got this little
Yeah,
ditty.
baby.
This goes to this. Bop, bop,
Fuck
bop.
yeah.
Oh yeah, there it is, you know?
Exactly.
But when I don't see things like a list. Like I feel like in
no.
my head, I kind of visualize my brain as like a shit ton of file cabinets. But I smoke so much fucking weed that there's no labels on any of my file cabinets.
Yeah.
It's just
I
a
stored
room
it away
full.
and forgot to label it.
It's just a room full of non-labeled file cabinets. So sometimes you'll see
Gotta
me
do
like
some
kind of
digging.
looking up in the back of my head, and in my head I'm
Right.
just like digging through file cabinets and pulling shit up. Like nope, that's not it. That's not it.
If you already take a peek in, you'd be like smoking a cigarette, like disheveled hair everywhere. Your
Drinking
shirt's,
a
like,
coffee.
unbuttoned. Yeah. Ties undone. It's like, fuck, goddamn.
I haven't
where to
slept
go?
in weeks.
I just can't find it. Damn it.
All because I
Yeah.
couldn't think of that one word I wanted to say.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Sometimes it could just be that one little thing. It throws you off completely. Like you changed it. It got changed up slightly. So now the whole thing's gone.
Yep,
I didn't
yep.
do it like this normally. God damn it. Yeah, no, I get that, man. That's definitely the kind of thing that people are always trying to, in a performer aspect, are always trying to figure out how to kind of conquer. And I imagine. Dave Kilbride, another comedian in the scene, he made an excellent point about our showcase, because due to the fact that all the bars got shut down, that means there was no mics except for about a week up until our showcase, and so we got cut off from practicing like a week ahead of time. And so he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna bring a set list," and he like taped it to the floor, and I was like, "Yeah, whatever." It's like you're doing, like, you had to do like 30 something fucking jokes in like 9 minutes, and so he had to. It's like, and then as a one-liner comedian,
Right.
it was a hell of a help to have it all written out, because it's a lot of subjects have to change through. There's nothing really triggering the next joke that you can say, you know. It's like, because then you have to have transitions. But then he had made an excellent point, which was people have no problem, because like comedians will be like, nah, I don't do a fucking set, don't have it written down or whatever. But then like he made what I think is a good point. It's like bands always have a set list, like whether they have the one, like just in the front, they're waiting for like the one guy to give them a signal, or like they all have one,
Right.
but because it's like all they needed was what song was next, and then they know how to play it, but they still needed a list as a reminder.
Right.
So then that way they know how to play it. It's like, yeah, I get that. Like, you're gonna get into this song for a few minutes, and so it's like you're probably gonna forget, and then you go back and be like, okay, so I gotta go to that one. So it's like, I really don't see anything wrong, especially if it's like in a hidden spot too.
Right.
Like, but at the same time, comedians are always going up with like a notebook in hand.
Right.
And so it's just like a matter of like, yeah. If people are gonna go be like, man, I want the set list off stage, and then
Right.
it's like, if it's a cool thing for them, then just make it no big deal for us, because
Right.
it's like, I still have to like, it's like, yeah, we still got to remember what we're saying, especially when you're fucking doing mics all the time. You're always trying new shit. So it's not like you're always,
the adrenaline that you experience being in front of people on stage with all the bright lights and they're hot and you can't see anybody, but you know there's people out there.
Yep.
Like that you could have everything.
I know.
You could have everything completely planned out and rehearsed, and like that adrenaline just completely fucks your mindset.
Yeah. 100%.
So to having that list down there, just as reassurance too. You might know what song is next, but you're like, "Fuck, is that the next song?"
Yeah,
and you look down, you're like, "Okay, I know it's song."
Right.
You know, it's just helps you reassure, or maybe it's not. You're like, "Oh fuck, I was gonna skip that song." My adrenaline's just going so fast and hard now that like. I'm ready to go to here. Like I'm 2 songs ahead of myself. I gotta chill the fuck out and just take a look at what's
100%.
What's in front of me here.
100%, man.
Depends on like if we're doing like a 4-hour show, then I usually don't do a set list because in my mind I pretty much have like a master list, and we're probably gonna pretty much play every fucking song that we know.
Right.
But
goddamn, a 4-hour show because a 4-hour show it weirdly. Like I get it's like a weird thing. That's another weird thing that I feel like saying it out loud. You're kind of like, whoa, great. Like, why wouldn't you need it? But then you probably think about it for a second. It's like, well, you probably as long as they know all their songs.
Yeah.
It's like you got 4 hours to fill.
And usually those 4 hours shows are like it's like a bar, so it's not necessarily like a venue where like I have a sound. I'm running my own sound.
Yeah.
I'm already got like 10 more responsibilities than I normally have. And it's if we're playing a bar in Jefferson, Iowa, I'm gonna probably call off different songs than if we're playing downtown Des Moines. Right. There's you just kind of have to read the room, read the crowd, and like I feel like especially with those bar shows, if I make a set list, which sometimes I still will, but usually unless it's like an actual venue gig, I find myself just deviating from it. Like no, fuck that song. Fuck that song. We're gonna do this one instead. So like when I do them for like these bar gigs and stuff, I find that I end up just pretty much canning most of it, and I might play all those songs on the list, but I probably won't play them in that order, and I'll probably throw a couple in, maybe take a couple out.
Hell yeah. Right, yeah.
But if we're opening for a band and they got you guys got 35 minutes and that's all you got, then hell yeah, we have a set list.
Yeah.
Each song has like 3 minutes 43 seconds, 4 minutes 17 seconds, whatever, you know what I mean?
You're mapping out that
we
block,
know exactly,
so
that we're good, that we're gonna be within like a minute, give or take, so that we're not pissing anybody off.
Exactly.
We're not going overtime, we're not going under time. And then we'll run those 7 songs or 8 songs or whatever the hell it is, we'll run that, 5 or 6 times back to back to back, make sure that we are within that 1 minute give or take, mark.
Then if you got to mix things around or move it around, exactly.
But then it becomes a production at that point.
Yeah,
you know exactly from start to finish everything that's going to happen.
Very
There's
much
no surprises.
And that's perfect for the production aspect too, is knowing what's coming. Because like especially when shows get bigger, obviously when there's like when there's like giant things going on, it's like when people have light effects or fire or whatever the fuck they have, it's like typically
CO2,
it's planned out.
Shit,
exactly, it's typically planned out to happen during something.
You don't want to light anybody on fire.
Exactly, so you guys like knowing where you're at can help you not get lit up by the pyrotechnics. Exactly,
like a Slipknot show.
That
shit's
nuts. I haven't thought about this forever. That kind of happened. That was like an issue that Green Day had to face during like I want to say it was the VMAs or some shit, MTV Music Awards or whatever. Because originally Green Day, they're performing, and this is like modern Green Day, like post whatever, like whatever. Anyway, they're like performing, and then I had heard I watched something the next day that was like they were planning on having all these pyrotechnics going on, and I think they had some already going on during their performance, but then Billy Joe just starts like pulling people up on stage like in droves, and so then like the stage is just getting filled with audience members, and then they're like rushing around the back like shut off all the pyrotechnics, like because they're about to have a bunch of fire spitting off, and now they got a bunch of like innocent people on this fucking stage, and so it was like completely out of plan. It was not what was supposed to happen, so they had to like stop it and like pause all the shit that was set to go off, so that way they didn't light them on fire. So that is like a real thing that people could possibly happen, right? But that obviously goes with experience and professionalism. It's like no one to expect. So Yeah,
and sometimes you get into the moment and you start yanking people up on stage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. He just when he was
like,
in the
fuck
moment,
it.
he went with the flow. Hell yeah,
dude.
Yeah, so he's just going with it. But
For sure.
yeah, dude. But who? So who did you listen to growing up? Like you say, you started off in church. Were you listening to just kind of what was coming in? Like were you being introduced to a lot of?
I wasn't really
different stuff,
allowed to listen to a lot of secular music, quote unquote, as it was called when I was younger.
Yeah.
So I kind of had to like go searching for stuff on my own, and this is back when you bought your CDs at Best Buy. Like going to Best Buy was like you had your like $30, and hopefully you could get like maybe 2 badass albums with your $30.
Right.
I remember buying a bunch of cassette tapes at there was a thrift / record shop down the road from our house, and I think I had In Utero, the Nirvana album on cassette.
Hell yeah.
I had Foo Fighters, the self-titled album, I think it was, on cassette.
God damn.
I had.
I didn't even say it's crazy to think that Foo Fighters. I don't know why I never thought Foo Fighters has been around long enough that they would have a cassette.
Yeah, well, Kurt Cobain died in like 93, I think.
93 or 90. Yeah, 93, 94 or something.
Foo Fighters was not far behind him, so.
True. Yeah.
But
yeah,
see, I had.
Yeah, he already had the build-up.
I had like every Led Zeppelin album ever. Some of them on cassette, some of them on CD. Eminem was one that I bought, the Slim Shady LP 2, or Marshall Mathers LP. It was the Marshall Mathers LP, and my parents, I think, took 3 or 4 copies of it from me.
Oh no!
Couldn't find them in my car.
Just kept buying it, replacing it. Yeah,
like, whatever. I'll just give Eminem.
Wow, in your car, even.
I'll give Eminem another 20 of my dollars.
Right, fucking worth it, man. I need it. Yes, fuck yeah, dude. That's that's like that's real shit right there. Cause nowadays it's like you could, cause nowadays that's what's so you can't like hide in it. You can't just like take a CD
right
and then be like boom, like now you either got to get a new one or go without. It's like I could just, it's like you have to like find out my account information, like you got to like log into my shit and then shut it down.
And even then you can get on something else and you can
exactly.
You can find it or YouTube it or whatever,
literally everywhere. So it's just and then now with like phones and you just bring it everywhere. That's so crazy. Oh man, that's such a funny thought.
I was talking to my buddy the other day.
Because you were driving. Cause if it was in your car, you were like 16, and they were still being like, no Eminem. Yeah, it's like that's so crazy. It's like
I remember
later
them taking away a couple copies of GoldenEye for Nintendo 64.
Oh wow! so you're just like being like a normal cultural dude. You're like playing all the shit that everyone loved at that point, and it's like, man.
Yeah.
But I get it. I get it. I keep cutting you off. Sorry.
That's the way it was. But I learned a lot, I feel like I didn't really get into reggae music until kind of after high school and chilling out. And like I dabbled with a bunch of, drugs and experimented with like a lot of different drugs and stuff. And
oh, yeah.
When I finally kind of snapped out of that and started to kind of get a little bit healthier again, marijuana for me was a big part of kind of keeping my shit together and keeping my head clear and keeping me out of a bunch of stupid shit. And obviously, like, Sublime was a good segue kind of into that. But then, the further you get into it and you kind of learn some of, their influences, and you find out about, NoFX and, No Doubt and, and then even going into some of the root stuff that is, amazing. Some of the, super old Bob Marley stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Anything from like Israel Vibration. You just learn that, especially with reggae music, that there was such a movement that was very much rebellious, and as good feeling and tropical and vibey as reggae is, the message of the majority of the songs, fuck the man, and praise Jah for giving us this life, and let's use this life for what we want to use it for.
Hell yeah.
And that message, I think, is just so important for me.
Oh, 100%.
Is it helps me to get through my day. It helps me if I start to lose my cool and get angry. It helps me whether it's smoking a joint or just turning on a tune. I have a really hard time maintaining anger with either of those things, give one or take one away.
Yeah.
Just throw on some reggae music and it's really hard to sit there and continue to be pissed off.
Right.
So for me, it's become more of a lifestyle that I really didn't, I guess I wouldn't have, seen myself in this spot probably 10, 12 years ago, but it's just kind of taken my heart over, and I can't stop, searching for new stuff and getting turned on to new stuff. And there's some really awesome modern stuff that's going on right now with some of the coast. There's some East Coast bands that are blowing up, and I hate this pandemic shit right now for the fact that like they would be in a way, way, way better spot already.
Oh, fuck.
Just as they're kind of starting to open up and, opportunities are starting to happen for them. Bands I'm thinking of are bands like Ballyhoo from Maryland, Bumpin' Uglies from East Coast as well. Both of those bands I've been listening to a shit ton of their music recently. And their writing is awesome. They're putting out some great tunes. They're consistently putting out music like weekly to monthly. So they're making, just like I was talking about earlier, they're making those investments, that time investment, that financial investment,
Yes.
And they're staying relevant. They're not just being stagnant and waiting for shit to pick back up. They're just
They're always moving, putting out there like we got this out here. Let them find that.
New ways merch. There's a couple of some of these dudes are doing private backyard house shows.
That's fucking ideal right now. So, that's fucking awesome right now. There's a lot. To anyone listening, fucking like if you got backyard, if you see backyard shows and shit going on, go to the fucking show. Especially if it's in the day, you're completely safe. Like, just do the distance shit. It's like, how badly do you need to stand shoulder to shoulder with someone to enjoy music? Like, you don't.
I like watching my music with someone a couple feet away from me anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm only 5'3". I like having my space. Let me be able to see the stage.
Right. Yeah. Exactly, dude.
Yeah.
I totally get it. Like I'm only like 5'7", so it's like only a few inches difference. But like, maybe that few inches can come into play here and there. But I've always felt short. Yeah. I've always felt short. I've always had I've fucking, if I go to a concert and I'm in the crowd, I'm probably behind the tallest dude there.
Same, dude.
I don't know how. I don't know how I get there, but I get right there. And so like the worst dude I was ever stuck behind was at a concert, and this was like a hefty fucker, and he had Liberty Spike hair. Yeah. So he had like all over his head.
It was like an extra 4 inches taller.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah. So he had these tall ass spikes. It was like he was already taller than me, and then just like so much more area covered. And it's like, how am I here? Everyone, I could see past everyone else in this crowd, but this is gonna be the guy that I got to get around. Yeah. Yeah, and then they usually don't let you get around. So
that's the story of my life, man.
I fucking get you, dude. Yeah, I'm 100% there, because I used to be my shit was like, but it's like, because before I could drink and do any of that shit, like now I'm like really into the chill. I'm starting to get back into like the hype kind of things. I'm like, I do got a lot of energy. I'm kind of an angry dude, so it's like a good way to. Which a lot of people don't get, thanks the weed. But then like, but it's like kind of thing. But that used to be my thing. I was going to every fucking show. It was like, and like around the time I started getting into hip hop, I started kind of mellowing out, and I was just like, now I'm just more more focused on like me and my path and shit, kind of that kind of shit. But yeah, no, that was and you say it's when you say you've kind of found your things actually that you think it's like real hard to be mad during like listening to reggae and that kind of thing. Do you because like me personally, like inside, like I got a lot of anger that I know where it comes from, but I don't want. It's like anger when you're like real into it can be some fucking adrenaline. It can be like, you can feel real good, but then feel real bad when you feel fine again. And you're like, ooh, I went too far, but. But that kind of thing. Yeah. Is that anything you relate to at all?
Yeah, I think for me, one of the things about reggae music to me is it helps me make the choice about my attitude. It's one of the very few things, especially in today's crazy fucking times, that you can. It pretty much is the only thing that you can control at any given time. I mean, you can maybe control the fact that you put yourself in the situation that you put yourself in, but the fact that you're there is a fact. You're there. Yeah. At that point, the only thing you can control is your attitude about the situation.
100%.
And my grandpa actually left me with a great virtue, I would say, and it's nobody makes you mad. Nobody makes you angry. That's a choice that you make. And people might trigger that choice for you, but it's always your choice whether or not you're going to be angry or you're going to be mad.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's necessary, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
some guy slaps your girlfriend or something.
Right, yeah.
Get pissed off.
Gotta
and
get
go,
into
get
self-defense.
pissed off and do
yeah.
something about
100%.
it. You know?
That's the times.
But there are times that, like, you know, it's maybe somebody let you down. They canceled a plan on you or something. You know, you were gonna meet for lunch and you got to the restaurant and something came up last minute. And you're sitting there with your beer and you already ordered an appetizer and you're like, man, fuck this shit. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
At that point, you have the choice to be like, no, fuck this. I'm not talking to that person anymore. I'm gonna be pissed about it. I'm gonna hold a fucking grudge on it. Or you can say, whatever, you know, let something come up. That sucks, but
right.
Here I am. I'm gonna make the best of this. I'm gonna eat the fuck out of these cheese sticks.
Fuck yeah.
And,
Hell yeah.
You know,
like you wanted to be there,
Yeah.
so it's like what? So if it's not like so inconvenient for that you
Right.
plan to be there, then it's like you may as well enjoy yourself a little
Right.
bit. It's like because that's huge actually. Like
Yeah.
it really is the realization of that.
Yeah.
Of like like recognizing that
and being able
in the
to
moment.
even. And I still struggle with you know getting angry, but
Oh, me too. But
knowing that is like, and I'm a big advocate for marijuana. I probably always will be. But you know, I'll get into a fight with my girlfriend about something stupid. Well, I'm trying to think like where to eat fucking dinner. You know, just something stupid like that. Like I want Mexican. Mexican doesn't sound that good. Well, how about this? Well, that doesn't sound that good. Like, well, fuck. What the fuck do you want?
right?
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
And
It
like
builds.
sometimes I'll be like, Jesus, just pick something. Like I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck.
Right? Yeah, you just
And I start to get
I want you
angry,
get over it,
and then
yeah.
I go in my kitchen and I grab a bowl and I hit it and I smoke it, and then I'm like, what the fuck was I so angry about? We're just trying to fucking decide what to eat for dinner.
Yeah, it's all.
At that point, I'm like, hey babe, I'm sorry, I got a little excited there. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what are you in the mood for? What genre of food sounds good? Do you want
What
a
genre of food?
rice-based meal?
Right,
Do you want
there
a
you go.
chicken? But what do you?
I like that.
Where can I go? Like. Or
like
another
that.
one, a good one I heard is ask them, tell them that you're surprising them, and ask them where they think that you're going, and whatever their first
Ooh.
answer is, go there.
There you go. The little trick. That little trick. It's like, you got it right. They're like, how do I get it right every time?
Right, but that anger is always a choice. I think that that
Well,
that you can choose to succumb to it, and you can choose to, you know, react.
Yeah.
And how you react, or you can choose to.
Because we all grow up in certain atmospheres and environments, and like I grew up in an environment that had a lot of anger. I didn't feel secure, I didn't feel safe, and so and then my example was if something is not going your way, you freak the fuck out immediately.
Right.
And so that's what I had to like realize that, and I am now in the progress.
That's like a normal thing too.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like a ridiculous reaction to something like that. Like,
yeah.
And honestly, I feel like the way our generations of kids are going, that's becoming almost more acceptable. It's like, I don't like this. I don't feel safe, so I'm going to throw a fit about it till somebody does something about it.
Yeah.
And the best way to get something done about a situation like that is to fucking do it yourself.
Yes.
You know?
I'm 100% advocate on that matter. 100%. Like I fucking have realized so much. Like just as a small example that you kind of reminded me of earlier was one of the things that I had to learn how to do. An example of like maybe you make plans with someone and they cancel. It's like anticipate that it might not happen already.
Yeah.
Like he
The older
should
you
never
get,
guarantee.
the easier that gets to understand.
It started
the easier it is to
raining so
understand,
hard
too.
on my way here after work. I was like, honestly, I would like not be surprised if it got so bad after like the fucking hurricane, like the mini hurricane. Which I was like, I would not be surprised if this got so bad right now that he was like, man, like for safety, I gotta cancel. You said you had your family with you, so I was like, fuck, like I hope this isn't like inconvenient for him,
No.
because I got a
They were
time.
they were bored. They wanted to come and do something.
Fuck
and
yeah.
My girl wanted to go to Hickory Park. They're walking around the mall right now.
Hell
So
yeah.
yeah, it
man,
worked out good.
Yeah, it definitely worked out. Yeah, because like, but I agree with your point that I fully. That it's just like because like if you want to do something, you should just fucking do it. Like I'm not the kind of guy who will go to a movie alone or something. Like there are some things I just like to share with people because
Sure.
I'm like I can watch a movie at home.
Sure.
You know, I don't gotta go to the theater. But it's like beauty of streaming. You know, so it's like you have that hand now. So if you have you can like.
Yeah,
rent
20
it at
years
your
ago,
house.
you wouldn't have had that option.
Yeah,
you know what I
exactly.
mean?
And so it's just like I've felt like I've been flaked on so much in my life, and I get like I always feel like I'm getting left out, but I'm like, then again, like I'm not always the one making the plan, and like, but also, I've learned that like, oh yeah, I can't fucking, it's not like I can control this, so it's so when you like truly realize that like you wanting it to happen a certain way is gonna mean nothing,
right?
And then you can just like go with it and be there with people or not with no people and just do the thing and be like, yeah, it was fun, like I got that and I got to do that, and it's like I got to eat what I want to eat, or I got to do this thing, and like people are far more open to suggestion than I once thought.
Yep.
Like people like me are definitely open to being like, we're doing this, and then you can just go along and be like, great, I don't have to make decisions. So it's like, I'm like learning in my life to be the guy who like makes the plan. And I go, no, you're coming, because
this is what we're doing.
Yeah, because I'm like, I know you're not going to be doing anything else otherwise, and I know we have fun, so just fucking come on.
Let's just go.
Yeah, let's just go. Like, and so like I always make a fuss but I make it a fun fuss. Where I'm like, fuck you, lazy ass. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, and that's actually the beauty of, and that's another beauty I love about comedians too. Is like, everyone's kind of realizing later, like musicians love comedians, comedians love musicians. It's like it's all because we're kind of doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But we're doing like such a different way that the other person like can't do, or like would be like real hard for them to start doing, and or like whatever the reason might be.
It's like even like a dancer, or like a, whether it's an exotic dancer or like a ballerina dancer, like you're getting up there and you're exposing your soul,
Exactly.
you know, there's not much more of a vulnerable spot that you can be than on stage with a bunch of people's eyes on you.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it really is, I think vulnerable is the best word. You are susceptible to everybody's judgment.
Yep.
And for a lot of people, they're doing it to be judged. They want to be judged. They want to be judged, and they want that judgment to be, oh my goodness, this person's so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But they're doing it to be judged. And then when they're judged and not how they want to be judged, there's this sense of disappointment, you know, and failure. And for me, when people don't like my music, I fucking love it. Like, I absolutely love, especially when people are vocal enough to tell me, like, I suck.
Yeah.
Like, I inspired some sort of emotion in you that I didn't even intend to spawn that emotion in you, but I made you fucking feel something. Whether that was absolute love for me or absolute disgust
enough so
for
that
me.
you had to like come up to me and tell me. So it's like
Exactly.
you might like me later. You might like me later. Like if it made you react like that, then let it grow on you.
You might not even like me, but you won't fucking forget
exactly.
me.
Like you're gonna tell your friend that I suck, and then they're gonna look me up to see that I suck, and then
PR,
they might like
right?
me. Yeah, 100%.
Except for nowadays, there totally is such thing as bad PR.
Yeah. What
that kind of flipped in the
I think
last couple years.
All of this shit. It's bullshit. All this thing that's going on, this cancel culture nonsense. It's all fucking bullshit. And like people need to realize that, because like so many people get afraid to do and say things because like they think that they matter enough.
Yeah.
That the world's gonna shut them down. It's like even like everyone who made it through that shit will tell you the same thing. Fucking ignore it.
Right.
And it'll pass. Like, they're going to jump onto another boat in a few weeks. Like, they're not going to care.
To even think to the extent of, like, you know, maybe somebody that made a racy off-color post when they were, you know, a 16-year-old. And now they're, you know, 35, 36, and they're doing
never
things,
have to answer for
and they're
that.
doing things well, but they're like, I don't really want to be the face of this because they might pull this post up from when I was 16 years old. So now I'm going to essentially stop doing what I'm doing because I don't want people to dig that far into my shit, you know.
And nothing is consistent. It's not consistent. There's no fucking consistency. And like the prime example that I have been thinking about recently when it comes up is the fact that Kevin Hart getting cut out from like doing the Oscars, or like he had to apologize, he had to do something, or like, but he did apologize, but then like they would like ignore that and then just continue talking about him being an issue and like blah blah blah. So like they didn't care about getting an apology. They just wanted to have that thing for views. Clickbait, exactly. And so then it was all because he made a homophobic tweet like 10 years ago or whatever. And it's like, and then it was a tweet and he got shit taken away. But then like Cardi B like admitted to like drugging and robbing dudes, and then then she gets all the support in the fucking world from women.
Go get him, girl.
Yeah, exactly. Bruce Jenner hits and kills somebody, then transitions, and everyone's like, oh, but they're she's like now she's trans. It's like she killed someone. Yeah, it's like, you know, and it's like, you know, and then Bill Cosby came out, and it's like that's it. Like the funny thing is too is like everyone knew Cosby was doing what he's doing on the inside. Like, it wasn't until Hannibal Buress, another comedian, just started talking about it on stage and told the public.
Right.
That's when he was finally caught.
Right.
It was like, because there was like this whole inside thing, but
it was hush hush.
Yeah, exactly. And so it was, so there's cases where it's like, yeah, there are some monsters that you should bring them out and you should punish them, but like a guy who tweets shouldn't be, a guy who made an off-color tweet 10 years ago shouldn't be punished the same way that a serial rapist was punished. Like, it's like it's very much like, we can grow and we can change. This guy was still doing this shit, but like, Kevin grew. And
he's
like,
so funny too.
I love Kevin Hart, yeah. And so it's just like, it's never consistent. It's just a matter of what fits the narrative at the time. And then like there's this uptick of, and then people don't like to admit it, but in the uptick of Me Too kind of culture, where it's like, it's great that people are like the dudes who are shitty are finally being called out and have to atone for all this shit.
Right.
But that has extended then into people who don't give a fuck about anyone. And then are just like, now's my time to shine, and they just make something up. They maybe have one tiny interaction, or like Chris D'Elia. Like, there's a very good chance, like that, like on the inside of everything, anyone who's close to that is like, none of it's real. They've already moved past all that. Right. And and it's like, it got into like really non-specific shit, and it was just like some chick who he ghosted was like, I'll show you.
Right.
And then now he can't do his
just angry.
He lost all of it. He like fucking lost his management. And he lost his company. He's not like doing shows. He's not been doing his podcast. And it's like, yeah, I don't know for sure. I'll admit that. I don't know 100%, but like, I'm also going by the insiders who are always dead set on the reality of the situation.
Right.
Then like, I'm gonna listen to them.
Right.
Like, I'm not gonna listen to a 17-year-old because I was 17. Right. Like, I know where their head's at. Like I know that it shouldn't be.
Yeah, I'd beat the shit out of my 17-year-olds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude, 100%. So it just and all that. Like, I talk about it sometimes, but it's just because it pisses me off seeing when something like that will come out, and then their friends will like turn on them. Yeah. And like, they'll come out and they'll like, I don't know how many comics heard about the Chris D'Elia shit and we're like, oh, it's so disgusting. Like, I don't know if he actually did anything. Like, I don't actually know, but like, if he did, I hope he gets the help he needs. And it's like, it's like, you shouldn't even be talking. Right. You don't have any information on it other than what you heard. So you shouldn't be involved.
Like, give him a call if he's your friend.
Yeah. Call him.
Check in.
Call him. Don't put it on your podcast. Yeah. Like, talk to him first.
Right.
Then get a take on it. And so it's like, this is just this matter of like, and like, I get it. You want to jump on the band, you want to jump on and you want to help people. It's like, so if like some girl comes out and is like, yeah, this happened. And it's like, yeah, by all means, of course you want, if it really did, like, you want to help them. Like, that's not the problem. Problem is admitting that there are some people who just take it to use it to their advantage.
Yeah. They have an agenda.
Yeah. And so that's all nonsense. And so it's, and it gets blown up and it's inconsistent. It's like, but again, sometimes it's right. But it's just one of those weird things. So
for sure.
Yeah. But
hell yeah.
But we are getting close to the end here. Do you have any musical guilty pleasures? I mean, it's a hard lane change, but end on something maybe funny. You really into the Backstreet Boys or some shit?
I'm a big JT fan. I love Justin Timberlake.
Hell yeah.
He's just a well-rounded musician. He's good at everything he does. I enjoy some John Mayer here and there. That's kind of one of my guilty pleasures.
Kind of one of mine too.
I listen to the Isley Brothers every once in a while.
Ooh, I don't know that.
If you look up the Isley Brothers, you will probably recognize more than half of their shit.
Really, one of those bands?
But
I love that. I love.
They're like a 60s, 70s group that they wrote just killer fucking songs.
Hell yeah.
But they were before copyright laws and shit. So like Biggie used a bunch of their shit. Tupac used a bunch of their shit.
Right.
Their stuff's been sampled all through hip hop.
Yeah.
Like the song Big Papa.
Oh, nice.
Is one that comes to mind. That's the original song is Isley Brothers Between the Sheets.
Oh.
And you hear it and literally it's the exact same song. They just took the vocals out and Biggie sang over the top of it. If you look up, there's all sorts of people that are all butthurt about the fact that they didn't get paid for the things they should have. They didn't get credit where they should have got it. But the original songs of some of those, their voices are amazing. They're just got that, and they got that hip hop feel to them.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of one of my dirty pleasures for sure.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Hell yeah,
man.
dude. Well, you got anything coming up that people can check out? Any kind of backyard shows or some shit?
As far as shows go, I think our next one is October 14th. I want to say. Let me check my phone to make sure that that's right.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
And that'll be at Woolies. We have a group called Geoffrey and Scott that is opening up for us.
Awesome.
October 16th.
Fuck
That'll
yeah.
be at Woolies. It'll be a social distance show. Masks will be required. I think it's $15 at the door. I think it's $12 advance. Pretty sure tickets are up on Woolies' website if you go to Woolies' website and check that out. Some Friends and Geoffrey and Scott. We just finished recording 2 songs. We'll have a music video coming out, and these 2 songs will drop. We're hoping in the next week. We were just waiting for the masters to come back right now.
Hell yeah.
Artwork's being drawn up. So we'll hopefully have those out, so stay tuned for those. That card I gave you, if anybody's listening that wants to go check out our album, you can download our album for free. It's on any streaming service as well. You can get it on Spotify, Amazon, Google, Dozer, or Deezer, whatever the hell it is, Tidal,
Something like
Napster.
Oh my God, Napster.
Yeah, we're on all of them. We got a YouTube channel. But if you're one of those old school people that likes to actually download the MP3 and have it, if you go to our website, which is somefriendsband.com, there should be a link for the album there. The password to download the album for free is NOFUX, no fucks. So yeah, if you want to check that out, feel free to go and snag that album for free. Stay tuned for these new tunes. We're excited to drop them. I actually just had a conversation yesterday with another engineer about starting to record some other ones. So we're trying to stay busy, stay relevant, keep the music pumping out, and keep people interested. So.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Then you can find you at Some Friends on social media and stuff.
Yep, Some Friends Band on some of them, but. Yeah, just look for the Rasta colored shit, and that's probably us.
Dope. Hell yeah, dude. Well, I fucking appreciate you coming by.
Yeah,
get the new album, No Coast. Fucking download it. Jordan C Comedy. To follow me personally, on everything, and then They Came from the Underground on everything. And fuck yeah, I mean, you got any closing thoughts that come in your mind right now? This is not required, but.
No, I'm excited to go home and smoke a joint.
Fuck yeah, buddy. I'm right there with you. So
yeah,
thanks again for making the trip, dude. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me out, dude.
Hell yeah, dude. So we will catch you next time on They Came from the Underground.
Awesome, dude.
I wanna be as high as a steeple. I wanna bring love to my people. Won't you sit back with me?